Hi everyone, so hopefully you have done the word search and now we are going to have a look at what the words in the word search mean. So first of all we have amphitheatre, which is an oval large stadium with tiered seats. So you might have heard of the Colosseum, that is an amphitheatre. It's a really famous one because it's still preserved and it was absolutely massive, and it's where they used to have gladiators fighting that people used to go and watch in the Roman times. An aqueduct is our next word. Aqueduct is a structure that carries water over long distances. So the Romans were the first people to build these aqueducts so they could get clean water to wherever they were living. Armour. Armour, protective covering made of metal and used in combat. So Roman soldiers, remember how we learned about the Celtic soldiers who didn't always wear armour, sometimes they had painted bodies in blue, but the Romans did wear armour. Catapult. So a catapult is a machine that was used in ancient wars that threw objects with great force. So they used to do this with the rocks so they could knock down enemy fortresses, or in battle they would throw rocks at the enemy to crush them. So it might look little there, but they were actually really, really massive structures that could carry really heavy things. An empire. So an empire is a land with different territories and people under a single rule. So if you hear of a Roman emperor, they were the people who ruled over an empire. So an empire has lots of different territories and one person ruling over them. So the Roman Empire was absolutely massive, but they would have one emperor at each time. The Eternal City, so that is a nickname for Rome. Garum. Garum is a Roman fish sauce, so a popular dish in Rome. Jupiter was the king of the gods. Legionary. A legionary is a word used to say Roman soldier. So if you say someone is a legionary, they are a Roman soldier. Livia. Livia was the wife of Augustus, who was a Roman emperor. She was suspected of poisoning several family members, including Augustus himself. Rome, the capital of Italy. Romulus, the first king of Rome, and we're actually going to have a look at a myth involving Romulus and his brothers later on. Shield. A shield is a device used to protect. A toga. So a toga is a loose flowing outer garment worn by citizens of ancient Rome, made of a single piece of cloth and covering the entire body apart from the right arm. So it was a single piece of cloth, important to remember, and an outer garment, so they'd still wear things underneath this. And our final one, my video doesn't quite go all the way down to the bottom, so I have to read this one to you, is a tunic. A tunic is a... See, can I move this up? No. A tunic is a loose garment, typically sleeveless, reaching to the wearer's knees, and worn in ancient Greece and in ancient Rome. So unlike a toga, it's not an overgarment. It's a loose garment that's completely sleeveless, whereas the toga, remember, only covers the left arm, and it reaches to the wearer's knees. Right, so now we've had a look at all of those words and what they mean. Now I want you to go on to the vocabulary worksheet for today. So that looks like this. So it's got the answers at the bottom down here. So we want to avoid looking at them. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you fold the page or you put something to cover the bottom so you cannot see them. Or if you're doing it on a computer, just don't scroll down yet. And what you need to do is fill in the missing words from the list below. So you can see that what I have written is as if I was someone who was living in ancient Rome. So it's written from a first person perspective because we're using the word I, and it's as if that person is living that life. And you need to fill in the missing spaces. So all the words that you need to fill in are up here, and you need to put them in the correct order, and then you can mark them and go down. So I'm just going to read you out with the spaces in there. In the morning, I woke up and put on my something and my something. So what are two items that this person might be wearing? My dad was a something, put on his something, and held his something in front of him. It was a special day as we were off to the stadium, which was called do you remember what the stadium is called? To see a gladiator fight. This happened a lot in something city. Rome is the centre of the Roman something. As we walked, we passed a statue of someone, king of the gods, someone else, the first king of Rome, and someone else, the wife of Augustus. Water rushes past in the something overhead, and there was a flicking and clunking sound from the something which was launching rocks towards the invading barbarians. As we sat down, we ate something covering roast potatoes. Okay, so you need to fill in those words, maybe cross them out as you go, so you make sure you're not looking over them all the time. It might make it easier for you. So when you think, oh, I've found that one, excellent, I'll cross it out. And then you can check your answers, which are down below, as I said. Good luck, everyone. It shouldn't take you too long, this one, and then you can move on to your spelling.